Welcome to Lesson 11, Fear and Hypervigilance in the Quantum Field. Today, we're exploring why our minds so often run worst-case scenarios on a loop and how that cycle affects our broadcast to the field. Hi, I'm Peter. If you often find yourself preparing for disaster even while trying to visualize a beautiful future, you aren't broken, you are human. Fear is woven into our biology as a survival tool. It's part of the way life protects itself through you. But when fear becomes chronic, it never shuts off. In this lesson, we'll look at how fear grabs your attention, understand the quantum feedback loop it creates, and learn to distinguish wise caution from the old fear that no longer serves you. We're going to reclaim your inner flashlight. We've talked about how the field is a mirror. In the language we've been using, where your attention goes, your energy goes. If fear is the loudest channel in your inner radio, that's what the field mirrors back, no matter what your vision board says. It's time to bring that cycle into the light. Your nervous system is the product of millions of years of evolution. Long before you wanted financial freedom, your body's main task was to keep you from being eaten or abandoned. For that task, fear was a gift. It sharpened your focus and narrowed your attention. Stephen Porges describes this scanning as neuroception. It happens below conscious awareness, faster than thought. It's a built-in radar asking, "Am I safe right now?" In a crisis, this saves your life. The problem arises when this system gets stuck in the on position. When you live in chronic fear, your attention becomes glued to what could go wrong. You replay past hurts, imagining how they might happen again. Your inner radar is so sensitized that it starts seeing danger everywhere, even where there is none right now. As Bessel van der Kolk explains, trauma reorganizes the brain's alarm system. You don't just remember the danger, you relive it. Your mind orients around one question: how do I make sure this never happens again? This is the root of hypervigilance, being unable to relax even in safe moments. Pay attention to your body. Your jaw is tight, your shoulders are high, and your breath is shallow. Joy becomes hard to access, not because there's nothing good in your life, but because the alarm bell never quiets long enough to let you fully feel it. Your inner gaze is turned toward danger. From the perspective of the quantum field, your attention is the steering wheel. If most of your attention is tethered to threat scenarios, then most of your energy is feeding those patterns. The field mirrors back. This is the reality most alive for this person. This is where their emotional electricity flows. Imagine your attention is a flashlight in a dark house. In a neutral state, you can point it anywhere, at art, loved ones, or your horizon. But in chronic fear, that flashlight is hijacked. It keeps swinging back to check the locks and scan the windows. Even in beauty, you see what might hurt you. Every place you point that beam receives your energy. Because of the brain's negativity bias, negative experiences stick like Velcro, while positive ones slide off like Teflon. You end up finding evidence for exactly what you fear. What you expect, you begin to see. It's a self-confirming loop. We must acknowledge that for many, fear isn't just psychological. If you live in a marginalized body, if you are trans or a person of color, or if you live in an unstable situation, your system has good reasons to expect harm. Telling someone in those conditions to just stop being afraid is spiritual gaslighting. True spiritual practice must look at the world as it is and still offer tools for agency. You did not choose the conditions that trained your nervous system, but part of your power lies in how you respond now, inside those conditions. That influence, that some say in how you meet life, is your agency. Not all fear is the same. Wise caution is the inner voice that notices red flags. It's part of your intelligence, not a mistake. Old fear is a response to a similarity between now and then. The invitation is to see where fear is protecting you appropriately and where it's replaying old scripts. When you can pause and say, "This fear feels like now, but I recognize it as old," you create a gap in the feedback loop. In that gap, you can choose a slightly different response. You might take 3 slow breaths or unclench your hands. You remind yourself, in this exact second, nothing is attacking me. A micro shift from total fusion with fear to witnessing fear changes your frequency. It is less dense than pure panic. It opens a tiny bit of space where new possibilities in the field can start to become available. Inner resources, outer allies, and creative ideas. Agency lives in the path between spiritual bypass and collapse. It sounds like, "I feel afraid, and I am willing to be with myself in this." From that stance, you can start to ask different questions. Instead of, "What could go wrong?" ask, "What is one small thing that could go right here?" Each time you let your attention rest, even briefly, on safety or kindness, you are feeding those realities with a little energy. You are sending a pulse into the field that says, this too is wanted, this too is part of my world. Fear may still be the louder pattern, but you are reclaiming your power. Over time, these small acts become a habit. As Rick Hansen says, you are gradually rewiring your brain. Your energetic message shifts from world is only threat to world is complex. There is threat and also care. This nuanced broadcast allows the field to mirror back not just your wounds, but your power. By learning to feel and name your fear, you aren't just improving your own life. You are contributing to a pattern of consciousness that says, yes, we see the danger, and still we choose courage and love. You are manifesting as someone who has walked through fear and chooses not to let it have the last word. The point is not to shame yourself for being afraid, it is to change your signal. Every time you reclaim your focus, you invite the field to meet you in your strength. Let it reflect the larger story of who you are becoming. Welcome home. We're in this together. To recap, fear is a survival tool, not a flaw. By witnessing it and choosing micro shifts towards safety, you change the signal you send to the field and restore your choice. Your broadcast is no longer divided against itself. In our final lecture of this part, we'll bring everything together as we look at living from the integrated self. I'll see you then.